Welcome to the Danube River in December. Come celebrate the magic of the holiday season with us as we travel a region where so many of today's cherished Christmas traditions begin. We'll explore age-old Christmas markets, partake in exciting Yuletide festivities, and taste the seasonal delicacies of this storied river. Beginning in the enchanting squares of Prague, we'll then travel to Nuremberg to board our luxurious floating home, the Ama Prima. Then through the charming landscapes and towns of the German-Austrian border area, before finishing in gracious Vienna and the sumptuous Hungarian capital, Budapest. Come with us for a very special journey on Dream Cruises. Magical lights, enchanting centuries-old architecture. It's hard to imagine a better place than Prague to immerse ourselves in old Yuletide traditions as we begin our Christmas cruise and tour of Central Europe. We'll have a day or so to enjoy this beautiful city as a pre-cruise tour. From here, we take a short coach ride to Nuremberg to begin our Christmas River journey down the Danube to Budapest. December is a wonderful time to visit. Squares and shop windows are bright and beautiful, and the people are in a festive mood, taking time to be with friends and indulge in the offerings of the season. A savory local favorite is a luschke, roast pork with potatoes, cabbage, and onions. We can smell the delicious smoky aroma from down the street. As our tour group enters Old Town Square, we feel the full magic of a Prague Christmas. The lights and giant tree are truly jaw-dropping. Christmas markets are a focal point throughout our tour. In this era of globalized commerce and retail, they provide a special opportunity to see the unique craftsmanship of each of the regions we'll visit. While there are typically some mass-produced imports at some of the stalls, most things you'll find here are handmade by local artisans. One can sense the care and patience that went into making each item. Of course, there are plenty of local delicacies on hand as well, which are perfect for gifts or for our dessert. A warm, sweet smell draws us to the Trdelník kiosk. We can watch the whole baking process here as these tasty almond and vanilla pastries roll off specially made baking sticks. Prague has, for all its long existence, been a crossroads of cultures. A Celtic tribe, the Boii, who settled here in the 4th century BC, gave the surrounding Czech region of Bohemia its name. And Bohemians have been coming ever since, the most recent being the post-communist influx of Western writers and artists in the 1990s. They were attracted not only by Prague's beauty, but also by the artist's best friend, low rent and extremely cheap beer. This openness to diversity is reflected in the city's eclectic architecture. The 15th century Gothic-style Pražná brána, or Powder Gate, was designed as an attractive entrance to the city. It was also where kings passed through on their way to coronation. Despite its regal heritage, however, it takes its name from the more mundane gunpowder that was stored up in the tower. We are awestruck by the gem of early 20th century Art Nouveau next door, Municipal House. It houses a concert hall, a ballroom, and cafes. One cannot help but be impressed by the building's gracious curves and flourishes, as though the performances inside continue out onto the building's facade. The adorning artwork represents a time of strong Czech nationalism, the Homage to Prague mosaic, and the allegorical sculpture representing the degradation of the people and the resurrection of the people. It's been a long evening, and there's more to do tomorrow. What better than a freshly poured cup of mulled wine to see us off to bed? After a good night's sleep, it's time for a quick breakfast before embarking on our tour of the city. The Art Deco dining room of our sumptuous hotel is done up in Christmas cheer. The rooftops of this city seem also to be wearing Christmas colors. Prague reveals itself from on high in the new light of morning. One of the most beautiful cities in Europe, its red rooftops and many church spires spread over 9 rolling hills, either side of the Vltava River. We're climbing one of them, thankfully by comfortable motor coach, to see its highest, oldest, and most imposing landmark, the place where the present-day city began way back in the 9th century, Prague Castle. Just as any king or queen would want it, the castle's position atop inspires awe in those below it. More than a castle, though, it's a sprawling complex of palaces and ecclesiastical buildings, the largest in the world, covering nearly 70,000 square meters. We'll be walking on a lot of cobblestones today, so like these fellows, you'll want to be sure to be wearing sturdy shoes. While only some walls remain of the original castle from the 9th century, its construction marked the founding of Prague and its place at the heart of Bohemia. To this day, it is the seat of the Czech government. The oldest surviving building here is the magnificent Basilica of St. George. King Vladislaus I inaugurated it in the year 920, with the brilliant Baroque facade being added 700 years later. Legend has it that his son Wenceslaus braved cold and snow to give alms to the poor and wretched at Christmas time. A cult of worship and a Christmas carol grew out of the good king's deed. The rough, solid stone interior, the play of light and shadow, all evoke a strong sense of the ancient world and those who walked and breathed in it. A short walk away is the Gothic splendor of the Basilica St. Vitus. One is dwarfed by its near 100-meter-high spires. Viewed from the southern courtyard, the golden mosaic of the Last Judgment is truly impressive. Considered the most important of its kind north of Italy, it was commissioned in the 14th century by the influential Charles IV when construction on the cathedral began. Charles was never to see the completion of the basilica, however, as it was only finished in 1929. You'll be glad to have some time to walk around and discover the finer and quirkier details of this enormous compound. The atmosphere is certainly nice up here, but now it's time to head back down with the common folk. As the final stop before boarding our boat in Nuremberg, the Charles Bridge is the perfect place to partake in the bohemian charms of Prague. With 30 saints watching over us, and with people from either side of the Vltava and from around the world, we'll never want for company here. The views and artwork are positively inspiring. The bellhops and drivers are doing all the heavy lifting for us as we board our coaches for our trip to Nuremberg and the beginning of our Danube River cruise. Since the elimination of border controls in large parts of the European Union, the hop to Germany is quick and painless. Before we know it, we've arrived at the docks. Our floating home on the Danube will be the fabulous Ama Prima. Operated by Ama Waterways, it's a Dutch-built, Swiss-registered vessel that was inaugurated in 2013. The friendly crew is here on this late afternoon to welcome us aboard this lovely ship, which has been cheerfully decorated for the holidays. They take the time to see that we get properly checked in, and even help us with our bags. Throughout the cruise, we'll explore many of the features of our riverboat's exquisitely designed rooms. Nearly all have furnished outside balconies, as well as French balconies beside the plush beds. Each room's styling embodies a sense of comfortable elegance and sophistication. Bottled water is included and replenished daily. Listening devices for every guest are provided, which are very useful during onshore tours. This suite is equipped with twin sinks and a full-sized and deep bathtub, something that will come in handy on this wintertime cruise. We can enjoy some champagne in our room or head over to the first night festivities. As is tradition, welcome cocktails are the order of the day, in alcohol or non-alcohol versions. The living room-like comfort of the main lounge is the perfect place to relax and get acquainted with your new travel companions. It's been a long and exciting day, and there's more to do tomorrow as we'll explore the Christmas charms of the old city of Nuremberg. It's our first morning aboard our river cruiser. For some, the day begins earlier than most. And for these early birds, an assortment of pastries, coffee, and tea is available. In fact, self-service coffee and tea are available around the clock for those who need a middle-of-the-night fix. It's nice to get some quiet time in before the day's activities begin. As we prepare to journey into Nuremberg, the staff at reception explain the color-coded ticket system used for the different tours available. Today, there's a multi-stopped city-wide tour including World War II monuments and another of just medieval Nuremberg and its famed Christmas market. In keeping with the season, we're dressing up warm and choosing the latter. Our first stop in medieval Nuremberg is appropriately enough outside the massive stone fortifications that surround the old town center. Erected from the 11th to 13th centuries, they were built to protect the city's position at the heart of major trade routes and as an important center of craftsmanship and manufacturing. With an eye to expert engineering for which the area is so well known, many of the walls and towers were constructed round because curves deflect cannonballs better than flat surfaces. Perhaps it's just the peaceful environment these foreboding structures are in today, but their earthy red tones are strangely warm and inviting. Some of the 80 towers still standing are put to use today, such as rehearsal spaces for rock bands. It's hard to imagine better sound insulation than 700-year-old stone walls. This is the highest point in the city. By law, no structure is permitted to be taller. Its base provides a wonderful vantage point over the city. But now it's time to go back down the hill for some Christmas shopping. a short coach ride brings us to the heart of the Nuremberg Christmas market. The earliest known of these markets date back as far as the 13th century. They are normally held in the main square of towns and cities. Here it's held in bustling Hauptmarket Square at the foot of the unique Our Lady Church. In Germany, they're known as Christkindlesmarkt, meaning literally Christ Child Market. Opening nights are on Advent, the fourth Sunday before Christmas, and are often accompanied by a ceremony welcoming the boy Jesus, played by a local child. The holiday season brings out so many tempting treats in this part of the world. If people come here for just one thing, though, it's gotta be the Lebkuchen, or gingerbread. Although you won't find ginger in this cookie, its history as a regional center on the spice routes provided Nuremberg with many peppery ingredients. Ginger never got in there, but somehow the name did. The choices and variations are endless. With other foods as well. If you're not in the mood for sweets, you can try the famous Nuremberg bratwurst. Served simply on a fresh roll, they smell absolutely delicious. If your appetite is satisfied, there's still the unusual to explore. These very lifelike figurines are made from nuts and raisins. There are also decorations and ornaments of the more psychedelic variety, all immaculately made, of course. Before heading back to the boat, we must stop at the Schönerbrunner fountain to make a wish on its golden ring. Legend has it that a wish made before turning the ring 3 times will come true in the new year. It's time to make our way back to the boat for our departure and tonight's festive activities. As we arrive back to our floating home, the crew has the vessel ready to pull anchor for our departure. This evening and overnight, we'll sail the main Danube Canal to the Danube River proper, and on to our destination of Regensburg. As our cruise director explains, the canal is an engineering marvel. We'll sail up and over a series of locks, even passing above roadways and towns, until we hit the Continental Divide. This is the highest point on our journey, from which we'll sail downhill, if you will, and into the night. And what a night it is for us. The seasonally decorated lobby puts us in a festive mood as we come down for dinner in our riverboat's lovely glass elevator. All our meals are included in our cruise. Tonight we're choosing to dine at the special Erlebnis restaurant. It offers a fixed menu of the chef's exceptional haute cuisine. There are choices for all palates. The lemon pepper salmon in spicy sour cream is out of this world. There's nothing better than a satisfying meal with friends to put one in a joyful frame of mind. And we can begin a cheerful spirit of competition to the main lounge and the special Christmas tree decorating contest. We'll get ourselves into teams and see who can make the prettiest tree. All in good fun, of course. The winner is the cruise, as both trees will remain with us for the week. Tomorrow, we tour Regensburg. We're waking up in the picturesque Bavarian city of Regensburg. After having joined up with the Danube and sailing and arriving here in the middle of the night, we're ready for an exciting day of touring and seeing the sights. Regensburg is a fairly small city, and we're docked within a 10-minute walk of the old town center. After the big city bustle of the first couple of days of our Christmas tour, it's the ideal place to move more leisurely. In fact, we can go at any speed we like. With our color-coded tour tickets, we can choose to follow our guides at a gentle, active, or normal pace. The old center of this city of 150,000 is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Settlers first came in the Stone Age, but it was the Romans who built an encampment here. And a short 500-meter walk from our boat, we find evidence of this. Remnants of the Roman fort Castra Regina. What we're looking at is one of the entrance gates. It was built in 179 AD, but only uncovered from its much newer stucco facade in the late 1800s. Each stone was meticulously cut to fit into place and support one another without mortar. We're looking at the oldest standing building in Germany. Walking up the street to the corner, we see that this enormous structure is now occupied by an upmarket hotel and restaurant. As we carry on, we notice an Italian influence in the architecture, such as this tall villa in pink. Looking up to the top floor window, we're surprised to learn that there is nothing behind it. That floor was only built to enhance the prestige of its owners. Like the rich everywhere, they often do things just because they can. With its mixture of history and 21st century high-tech wealth, Regensburg today is often referred to by the expression lederhosen and laptops. A couple of minutes walk down the narrow streets so pleasantly decorated for Christmas, we come to the city's most dominant feature, its spectacular cathedral. Once again, we find ourselves in awe at the size and artisanship of a magnificent structure. It was begun in 1275 and not finished until the towers were erected in 1869. It's considered the main work of pure German Gothic in Bavaria. The intricacy of the stonework is breathtaking. 11 stonemasons are on hand to maintain their beauty. The brother of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI was a choirmaster here. The Pope Emeritus himself taught theology at the university and maintains a residence nearby. We'll come back to see the splendors of a Regensburg Christmas market later today, but now it's back to the boat for lunch. There are two options for lunch on board. We can grab something quick and light at the buffet, such as a salad, cold cuts, and dessert. Or, since it's been kind of cold out this morning, we'll have a hot sit-down lunch with full service to warm us up. We can start with a hearty bean soup or a steamy vegetable broth. It's hard to decide the main course, the succulent grilled river char in white wine sauce, or the oven-roasted turkey with fresh herbs. Whatever we decide, there's a beautiful cheese plate waiting for us after. After this fine meal, we're going to hold off strolling back into Regensburg until tonight, when we go to its renowned Christmas market. Instead, we're going to take advantage of a couple of the fabulous onboard amenities. Nestled in a quiet corner of the Ama Prima is the beauty and massage salon. Let yourself be pampered by the assured fingers of the staff. For something a little more rigorous, try the well-equipped fitness center next door. As we approach the Regensburg Christmas market on our last night in Germany, it's worth remembering that this country has given so much to Christmas tradition. It was Martin Luther, for example, who first deemed Christ's birthday the day when Christians should exchange gifts. And it was here where St. Nicholas became Santa Claus. There are actually 5 Christmas markets in Regensburg. We're at the private Thurn und Taxis Palace, about a 2-kilometer coach ride from the docks. It's been voted one of the 10 best markets in Europe and is renowned for the crafts made on site. These days, it's rare that we can buy a present for a loved one where we not only saw it being made, but met and spoke with the maker. As a practical gift, you can't go wrong with a handmade badger brush, or a stuffed animal or toy. For a traditional German holiday snack, we can have a half-meter-long sausage and wash it down with Glühwein, the hot spiced wine made from fruit such as grape, apple, and cherry. Then do as the locals do and enjoy them in the palace's warm portico or at one of the many bonfires. The sound of the trumpet heralds the Christmas angel and the end of our visit. But the Christmas celebrations continue on board our cruiser as we close out the day. While we sleep, we sail toward the border. We continue our Christmas time dream cruise on the Danube at Passau, on the German-Austrian border. After sailing during the night from Regensburg, we have a brief stop in this delightful town at the confluence of the Inn, Ilz, and Danube rivers before spending a relaxing day cruising to Linz. We are awestruck by the monumental fortress Veste Oberhaus high above us on Mount St. Georgeburg. Begun in 1219, it was the home of the Bishop of Passau, who was the local representative of the Holy Roman Emperor. The fortress was meant to defend against attackers from afar. But from his mighty perch, the bishop sometimes turned the cannons on his own townsfolk as they sought greater independence from the empire. Some of us have chosen a quick bicycle tour while we're here. The bicycles are provided by the cruise and take us quickly along the Danube on well laid out bike routes, enabling us to get a different perspective of the river. We feel mischievous crossing the Ingling Dam into Austria before our itinerary says we're supposed to. But alas, we do have to ride back to the dock for a proper crossing into our next country, Austria. We say goodbye to Germany and take with us many fond memories of this wonderful Christmas time country. Even on a chilly and cloudy day, the sun deck is a great place to watch the goings-on as we sail into Austria. Some passengers settle in to watch the passing scenery of historic abbeys and onion-domed churches. We have about 5 hours to cruise to Linz, so we can really relax and feel the gentle rhythms of the river. This man has slipped down to the buffet for a late lunch to enjoy the view with a glass of the local white. The generous size of our riverboat allows one to have time and space to oneself. Meanwhile, the captain is showing us the high-tech wheelhouse and how he steers our boat with just a couple of fingers. We arrive at Linz around 7 p.m. One would think that its modern waterfront buildings, the Lentos Art Museum and the Ars Electronica Center, were all decked out in Christmas colors, but they're this colorful year-round. We're on our Christmas-lit boat, however, with a dinner treat in store. It's put on by the famous French culinary guild, the Chaîne des Rôtisseurs. The excellent chef starts us with foie gras with beets, chutney, and a fresh roll from the onboard baker, and follows with braised lamb in a rosemary sauce with parsnip puree and broccoli. A local Riesling and a Bordeaux are recommended to accompany our meal that finishes with an array of desserts, creme brulee, molten chocolate cake, and fresh strawberry sorbet. After dinner, some of us are taking a short digestive stroll to Linz's Hauptplatz and its Christmas market, a convenient 250 meters away. The opulent architecture of this city of 200,000 reflects the wealth that grew through industry and trade. Now it is also famous for its art scene. We'll start our short visit by seeing the famous wool coats. While not quite local, because they're made back over the border in Germany, each is handmade and so absolutely unique. One would make a cherished gift or keep you warm for the remainder of this trip. And speaking of staying warm, this cheese raclette should be up to the task. It too is an import, this time from its Swiss cousin. Even though we've just had dinner, at a very reasonable €2.50, who can resist it?
Wow, delicious.
Tonight we sail for Melk and on to Vienna tomorrow. After a fantastic night's sleep aboard our riverboat, we awaken Melk on another day of our Christmas time cruise. We arrived here overnight and will stay the morning before setting sail for the picturesque Wachau Valley and the Austrian capital, Vienna. We're eating at the regularly scheduled breakfast today, which is available from 7 to 9 a.m. In addition to the tasty and fresh buffet, we can order a breakfast item from the generous menu, such as a poached egg, eggs Benedict, or waffles. This will set us up nicely for our captivating tour of the Melk Abbey. We've received an early Christmas gift in the form of our first blue sky. So bring your sunglasses and also your listening devices and a good windbreaker. Looking at its hilltop position, our immediate impression of the Melk Abbey is that here the man-made sits harmoniously within its surroundings. Unlike many other Baroque monasteries, the church is its tallest and most prominent building. It's somehow fitting to be visiting such a place during the Christmas season. A coach has brought us up the hill, and it's a short walk across the garden to the majestic entranceway. Benedictine monks have lived here continuously since the year 1089, though many of the buildings we see date from the 18th century. Inside the gates, the monastery is vast, sprawling over more than 1,700 square meters. Inside the imperial wing, we see what was a kind of hotel for traveling dignitaries, such as Marie Antoinette, Mozart, and various Holy Roman emperors. As we step into the marble hall, we are overwhelmed by the beauty of the frescoes high up on the ceiling and of the dazzling gold trim. We begin to feel the meaning behind Baroque design that said we should recreate the paradise that is heaven here on earth. And this feeling is even more sensational as we gaze in wonder at the interior of the Abbey's magnificent church. With the expensive materials such as gold and marble, Baroque design was controversial. Many at the time thought it was far too lavish to celebrate Jesus, a poor and humble man. A fascinating debate to contemplate at Christmas time. Whichever side we believe, there is no denying that the Melk Abbey leaves us breathless. The Abbey has a thriving school. On our way out, we see that the students have filled their windows with artwork, turning the building into a giant advent calendar. We head back to our riverboat, inspired. We pass under the gaze of Melk's Abbey as we depart for an afternoon sailing the pretty Wachau Valley. This 40-kilometer stretch of the Danube attracts people from all over for its history, wine, and tranquil pace. Now that it's sunny, we can take full advantage of the sun deck. And if need be, there are clever windscreens to take in the vistas and share our experiences more comfortably. It may be Central Europe in December, but don't forget your sunscreen. We're passing Dürnstein with its blue-faced church. On the cliff behind it, in 1193, Richard the Lionheart was held prisoner in the old Dürnstein castle. While some stay up top to wait for the sunset, we'll go downstairs to watch from our private outside balcony. We see that our excellent maid has gotten creative with our towels. We arrive in Vienna tonight, and we'll explore it tomorrow. On the second to last day of our Christmas cruise, the Viennese head to work as we leave our riverboat to tour the glorious Austrian capital. We've already decided to stay in Vienna for lunch, so we made sure to tell the staff at reception before boarding the coach. We're eager to get started as our bus brings us 1.5 kilometers through rush hour traffic from the port to the city center. From here, Vienna's main sites are within easy walking distance. St. Stephen's Cathedral has dominated the city's skyline and humbled those in its presence for more than 800 years. Its spectacular roof is made from close to 250,000 glazed tiles. It is so steep that rainwater is sufficient to keep it clean. It is moving to learn that we are standing in the same place that Beethoven was when he discovered he'd gone completely deaf. Upon seeing birds suddenly fly from the bell towers, Ludwig sadly realized he could not hear the bells tolling. As one of Europe's most powerful and influential capitals under Austria's defeat in World War I, Vienna attracted many great artists who left the city a stunning legacy of public monuments. A couple of hundred meters from St. Stephen's, we find an example of this in the Plague Column. Emperor Leopold I commissioned it after the Great Plague of 1679. The depictions in marble of the human form are extraordinary. As we walk 5 minutes under Christmas lights and decorations toward Hofburg Palace, we see this again in the statues adorning its incredible entranceway. These portray the strength and power of the mythical Hercules, but of course are meant to really convey the might of the monarchs themselves who lived behind the gate. A horse-drawn carriage or fiacre is a fine way to see the sights. Just remember to negotiate a price before climbing aboard. We stumble upon a small Christmas market back at the Platz beside St. Stephen's Cathedral and can't resist having a look. We're particularly impressed with the lovely hand-painted glass. There are some that are inspired by Gustav Klimt, the Australian symbolist painter. They're made right here in Vienna, and each artist is certified to ensure all sales are legitimate. A lovely and unique gift for someone back home. Delicious aromas bring us to the next kiosk for some soup for lunch. But not just soup, but soup and bread. Pumpkin, goulash, or garlic, a real wintertime Austrian street food. Well, they eat it in Hungary too. Meanwhile, those passengers who ventured back to the boat for lunch are welcomed with hot towels and steamy mulled wine by the always attentive staff.
Good.
Afterwards, they can rest in their rooms until tonight's Christmas festivities and enjoy the infotainment center. They're found in every room and provide online access, music, and satellite TV. We've come to just beside Vienna University, to one of the world's most famous cafes. Café Landmann is where politicians, intellectuals, and international superstars have met and debated the issues of the day since 1873. Gustav Mahler and Sigmund Freud were regulars, with Freud taking this corner table every day for his morning coffee. Today, you might run across the likes of Paul McCartney or Hillary Rodham Clinton. For a place so famous, we find it feels remarkably untouristy. And it's a good place to watch Vienna at Christmas time come to life. Better not have eaten too much at the cafe, because the crew has created a special evening for us back on our riverboat. It's time once again to gather for dinner with our fellow passengers, many of whom have become good friends now. Our chef has surpassed himself yet again. Amongst our choices tonight are a starter of tempura tiger prawn with a sour cream chili sauce, and a succulent main course of grilled beef tenderloin with pepper sauce. Fittingly, 2 Austrian wines accompany our superb meal, a Chardonnay and a red unique to the region, a Zweigelt. We can carry our good cheer into the lounge afterward for the captain's farewell, which at this time of year doubles as a Christmas party. Tonight we leave for Budapest and arrive in the morning. An ornate bridge and a mid-morning mist greet us as we sail into the majestic Hungarian capital, Budapest, on this, the last full day of our Christmas-time dream cruise. We crossed the border into Hungary while we slept, after leaving Vienna late last night. Floating slowly into a city like Budapest allows its history to pass before our passengers' eyes, even in the morning mist. Buda Castle, and the former glory of the Hungarian monarchy. the Gothic spectacle of the Parliament building, and Hungary's struggles with democracy. The chain bridge that connects Buda and Pest, and the city's timeless passion for elegance. We put on our tour guide headsets in anticipation of the sights and smells that await us today. We're going to be spending a lot of time with food. The Central Market Hall is a beautiful example of public architecture. It was built in the late 19th century to assemble all the city's various markets in one place, to control food quality and hygiene, as well as prices. Its incredibly high ceilings and walls of windows were meant not only to bring in natural light, but also improve the air in the days when steam locomotives carried goods in and out. It was fully refurbished in the 1990s and specializes in Hungarians' three favorite things: food, fabric, and spices. This day of our visit, the market is all stocked up with Christmas goods. Our nostrils and taste buds are filled with excitement. Goose is a favorite Hungarian Christmas dinner. Every part of the goose, in fact. One of our travelers is looking at finely made Christmas table decorations. She should know that the currency in Hungary is the florint, worth about $2.20 to the dollar. Another has purchased a kit of spices and spoons for making goulash, which is perfect because that's what we're doing next. Our cruise has arranged for us to take a cooking class at a top-notch hotel beside the quay where our riverboat is docked. We feel a mix of excitement and trepidation as we listen to the chef tell us how we are going to make his traditional dish. Carrots, onions, peppers, potatoes, and tomatoes are the main vegetables. Paprika, salt, cumin, the spices. The chef's assistants have prepared the beef. The chef is ready to add our vegetables. Will it be good? Will he be happy with our work? He's almost smiling and giving us recipes and our own satchel of paprika. We feel this is a good thing. And he lets us eat the food we cooked. It is hearty and delicious, and now we're happy and ready for our final Christmas market. It's just a 15-minute walk to the market. Emotions well up in us as we see the magic lights and the happy, bustling crowds. Maybe it's just the emotion from knowing it's the last night of our cruise, but this Christmas market seems to be the most magical yet. It's the perfect place to absorb the atmosphere of Central Europe one last time. And maybe pick up a gift for a loved one back home, and keepsake for ourselves of this enchanting journey. We'll end our day as we began, on our riverboat sailing the majestic Danube. This extraordinary Christmas cruise has truly been a gift to us.